make butter, you churn the cream. They use a food processor, so you end up separating the cream or the fat from the buttermilk. And then now they rinse it with water to remove the buttermilk, and then they just remain with butter. So butter is usually refrigerated, and that's how it should be stored to avoid. Hey awesome viewers, join me, the nutritionist on two wheels, as we ride into a world of healthy living, tasty eats, and epic adventures. Uy, angalia. Good morning, good people. It's a cold morning. The morning breeze is stinging cold, but it looks as though it's gonna brighten up later on in the day. We are in the area of Resambu, and we are just going to Roiro. We're not going too far off. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is your nutritionist on two wheels. Here we talk about all things nutrition or bike related adventures. Please like my channel. If you see anything that amazes you or interests you, feel free to comment, and don't forget to share and subscribe. Hey, wacha nikwambie kuna baridi. Wa. Na feel tu baridi ikinipiga kwa my thighs. Hey. So today I'm doing something different from my day-to-day. We are taking a trip to Brookside Dairy, the factory. Tunaenda kuonyesha how milk is processed and how they do value addition of it. How many of you have become lactose intolerant? Oh gosh, ni kama it's drizzling somewhat. Na feel droplets. So quite a number of people become lactose intolerant as they grow older. And the reason behind this is the enzymes tend to reduce, the lactase enzymes, with age. So digesting milk becomes an issue for most. But dairy products are still a good source of calcium. So I tend not to angalia hawa. Look at the things that happen on the roads. Sasa hata huyu yuko anakaa ko indecisive whether change lane or not. Haya, hebu ni waondoke. I hope I'll get to see most of those processes, how they are done. Like now, yogurt is a good source of probiotics, and probiotics really helps improve the gut integrity. Butter is used to prepare quite a number of dishes, whether you want to saute or vegetables, you want to cook your meats. it also helps to to enhance flavor of food. So we are leaving Thika Road now. This road will take us to Rero. So this road will take you to Northern Bypass. On this other side of the road, that's Eastern Bypass. Those two connect. Us, we are going to make a U-turn. Like now we are going back to Nairobi. So Brookside, the factory is located in Northlands, of course. Tunajua ni akina nani hiyo. Ui. This part of the town is not so cold. This area usually has so much traffic. Really. Even after expanding, it really didn't make a difference. Sometimes I get staying focused is a bit challenging when I'm talking about nutrition and I'm on the road, because I also have to make sure that I don't get distracted while I'm on the road, and things happen spontaneously. So hence now I can be talking about something and then I just interrupt myself. So this whole area is Northlands. So look at Google Maps just to be sure, just to be safe. Acha tuende tusikie ni aje what we are going to be told. This is my first time coming here. Watu wa Ndudhia tunanga bahati. We really face a lot of scrutiny, madharau. I hope sitaambiwa niache bike hapa. I really hope so. Huku I think people usually come for team building. Interesting. Tables must be nice. Because Peponi School is here, by the way. Okay. Okay, at least sikuambiwa niache nduthi hapo kwa gate. So turn right. But I was told 3 gates. That's one. Okay. There. And reception. So I think it is where I mean, like places that don't discriminate against motorbikes. Aki tunajioneanga wewe hiyo motorbikes haziruhusiwi kuingia huko, weka huko. Mob. Haya, huko ni kwa executive, ama ningepark tu kule hizo mandothi zilikuwa. Acha nitoke. Yep. Okay.
A few moments later.
Hi. So I am back later, but this is towards the end of the day. The tour to Brookside Dairy Factory was a success, but by the time we were done, time was not on my side. So I left in a rush. Sasa singekuwa na debrief. That was fully focused on the road. So hapa ni Westlands, this road ni Parklands Road, and kama kawaida we are going to Thika Road. So now, cause niko relaxed, I can tell you more about the tour. We were a group of us. I was not alone, and we were all nutritionists. We were received. There was a warm reception. Getting into the processing plant, we were not allowed to get in with our gadgets, so I could not record. We were even told to remove jewelry, phones, rings, anything, and also we had to wear protective gear. So let me talk about the emphasis on removing the emphasis on removing the watches, no gadgets. This is basically because of food safety standards. Someone from the quality assurance team department walked us through it, because you see, the earrings, watches can have harmful bacteria which will end up contaminating the food products. So by protective gear is we wore gumboots, dust coats, masks and hairnets. And even before entering the processing plant, we had to sanitize our hands, and also the gumboots were cleaned. So there is like a water point, and there's a whole system. You put your hands, they sanitize, and then also where you step, there's a brush that is able to remove dirt. So I'm going to explain the process of pasteurization and your ultra high heat UHT, generally how it's done. Brookside Dairy Factory, they're ISO certified, so whatever systems that they follow is up to par. The regulations meet the international requirements. Pasteurization is a form of heat treatment meant to kill bacteria and still maintain the nutritional value of milk, and the taste. So there's a method called high temperature short time. And now there is a UHT. So the first step, once the factory collects the milk, this is from the dairy farmers, the milk is filtered. This is to remove large particles or impurities from the milk. And then now it goes to pasteurization. So there's this first method which I've just explained, the high temperature short time, where you heat milk at about 72 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds. The same milk will be rapidly cooled to 4 degrees, and they cool it rapidly to make sure that there is no time for growth of harmful bacteria. Now, I'm not sure if it's, but I'm assuming it's once milk has been pasteurized, they usually remove all the cream from the milk. Milk generally is 3.5 to 4%. So they remove all the cream, that's fat, all the fat. Okay, and then now from that point, now depending on what the factory wants to do with the milk, now if they ever want to make low fat skimmed milk or whole milk, then now there's going to be addition. Okay, so the milk that we usually take, this whole milk, is 3.2%, 3.2 to 3.5. More often than not, the long life milk is 3.5%. And then low fat milk is about 1% of fat, skimmed should be around 0.2. Milk that has been pasteurized using the high temperature short time is usually refrigerated. So in factories there's a cold storage. The other method of pasteurization is now UHT. So here you're also going to expose the milk you're going to put it under high temperatures, usually 135 degrees for 2 seconds, 2 to 5 seconds. And then you also rapidly cool it. The reason is the same, to inhibit growth of harmful bacteria. This kind of treatment tends to increase the shelf life of the milk. The milk is usually, UHT milk is usually stored at room temperature. Now, both the HTST and UHT methods, packaging is usually done in a sterile environment, and the packages are also, they are very clean, they are also sterile. Good, a bit of traffic. Now I can talk better or I'm more comfortable. For both methods, no preservatives are used. In fact, for the packaging material for the UHT milk has 6 layers. And what that means is that light cannot get through, and bacteria also cannot get through. This will prevent contamination of milk. But the moment you open the milk, you have to refrigerate and you consume within 4 days, because now you'll end up exposing it to the environment. Are we together till there? Higher. So the pasteurized milk, once now that milk has been pasteurized, now it can be used by now the company now will decide on what to go ahead and do with it. So there's value addition. So value addition in the sense that you can end up making yogurt, or even maziwa mala. So now when it comes to making yogurt, they use the same pasteurized milk and they heat it to around 83 degrees. Then they cool it to around 43, so 40 to 45 degrees. At this point, they will end up adding the strains or culture. So you may find end up adding 2 strains. One is for texture and one is for acid. So they put these strains at 40 to 43 degrees just to make sure that the bacteria will be able now to ferment lactose into lactic acid. Now the strains that are added, it's usually lactobacillus and streptococcus. Now the whole process of adding the strains, that is called inoculation. Then I have forgotten to mention something. So usually they add stabilizers, and the role of the stabilizer is to prevent the milk from curdling, so that it does not separate the components to remain as one. After you end up adding the culture, so now that is where the fermentation process starts, or incubation. So you end up, the process should take about 5 to 6 hours, and then once that is done, you refrigerate the yogurt. So then that you'll have your mala. After the incubation period, now that's where you end up adding whatever. If it's now the flavors, you individualize it. So different companies have their own procedures or preferences, Then when it comes to, I'm just giving a general guideline. Then now when it comes to maziwa mala, so maziwa mala, the milk, after heating, you cool it to about 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. And then now you'll end up adding your strain or the culture. Now maziwa mala usually takes a longer period of time to incubate. It could be 12 to 24 hours. So the difference, that's the difference between maziwa mala and yogurt. And also now something else that you may notice is even like now the texture of yogurt is usually smooth, and it's because of how they add a number of things: the stabilizer, the amount of strain, even milk powder. And then for yogurt you just add the culture, and then now you wait, it incubates. Now the fermentation process is now what gives yogurt its tangy taste, and maziwa mala the same thing. Like now Brookside, they have two types of maziwa mala. The first one, let me say, ni the normal maziwa mala, where before they package it, it usually has fermented, and then there's the pet mala, where the fermentation takes place when the mala has already, the milk product has already been packaged. Sawa sawa, tuko pamoja mpaka hapo? Haya. So now let's move ahead and talk about butter and ghee. So you remember huko, the first process after pasteurization, they separate the milk and the cream and the fat. So now butter is made from now the cream, and it's usually they churn. To make butter, you churn the cream. They use a food processor, so you end up separating the cream or the fat from the buttermilk, and then now they rinse it with water to remove the buttermilk, and then they just remain with butter. So butter is usually refrigerated, and that's how it should be stored to avoid exposure to oxygen and light. That usually makes it to change the taste and color. So by refrigerating you prevent that. Sawa. Haya. Sasa kwa ghee, the amount of fat in butter is 80%. Now ghee is butter that has no water. So to make ghee, you heat butter mpaka all the moisture evaporates, naisha. So amount of fat in ghee is 99%, and for the mere fact that you've heated it mpaka all the moisture evaporates, it means that the shelf life of ghee is definitely longer. Oh, I forgot to also say that after you get butter, you can either add salt, which tends to enhance the flavor and also increase shelf life. So salted butter can stay up to 1 year, and unsalted butter 8 months. And then ghee, you can even store it over the counter. You don't need to refrigerate it. And I forgot to put a disclaimer. This video is not a sponsored video. I'm just sharing information. Okay? So from the milk that is usually pasteurized, Brookside, they have a number of products from the ordinary. So they also have alternatives to milk. They have plant-based milk. So there's soy and there's almond. And we got an opportunity to actually sample all of those products. And so the plant-based products can be used in situations where the cow milk allergies, protein allergies, or even medical conditions that require people to stay away from cow milk. So we got a chance to see the processing plant for that. Soy based milk has a subtle taste. I'm going to share the nutritional information on it. And then almond milk, also they're both unsweetened actually. So almond milk is more pronounced. It has that nutty taste, but they're both, you can take them both. There's also low fat milk, where in cases the doctor may recommend that you reduce amount of fat. There maybe the liver has an issue, or the pancreas, because they play a role in digesting fat, those two organs. And then we also got to taste lactose-free milk in situations where your baby may have episodes of diarrhea, vomiting. In such a time, what usually happens is the body has less of the lactase enzymes, so digestion is usually a problem. So lactose-free, the baby will not have a problem, or even stomach issues. Okay. Then there is milk that has been fortified with vitamin A and D. Vitamin A plays a role in boosting immunity. Vitamin D ensures that your maintenance of the bones are in check. And I think I have mentioned the majority, but I'm going to share a photo of those products and the nutritional information. And I hope that you find this video to be very insightful. And I will see you in the next one.